just annoyed me that people got so into the Beatles, 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 Beatles. It's not that I don't like talking about them. I'd never stop talking about them. It's Beatles, there's Beatles, 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 Beatles. In the end, it's like, oh, sod off with the Beatles, you know. I mean, screaming crowds everywhere you go, pressmen at your door for years on end, the front cover of every newspaper every day of the week for years. Prying, you know, everywhere you go, trying to find out any little bit of dirt that they can write about you.
You said at one stage that the Beatles were a curse as far as you were concerned. What you're saying is the same thing right now.
It's a lot to deal with. And that's the thing, the Beatles sort of did haunt a lot of us for years, and still do. Other than to play a guitar and get in a rock and roll band. I don't really like to be the guy in the white suit at the front. Like in the Beatles, I was the one who kept quiet and at the back and let the other egos be at the front. Wacky mop tops, cheeky chappies, you know, just sort of, oh, hello then, how you doing? You know, like all the cartoon Beatle things, with the little jokes and charming, yeah, but a bit thick.
I hope to have enough money to go into a business of my own by the time we do flop. I've always fancied having a ladies' hairdressing salon, you know, a string of them, in fact.
I remember seeing a clip of you saying, well, when this all flops,
oh, yeah, we'll
I'm
all
going to
have
be business.
Hairdressers and stuff, yeah.
Yes.
But that's fun, we said that. You know, we were naive in those days. You see, a big change happened in 1966, particularly to John and myself, because a dentist we were having dinner with put this LSD in our coffee. Now, people who've taken that will know what I'm talking about, and anybody who hasn't taken it won't have a clue, because it transforms you. After that, I didn't need it ever again. That's the thing about LSD, you don't need it twice.
You've only taken it once?
Oh, no, I took it lots of times. But I only needed it once.
Turn off your mind, relax and float downstream.
In an interview before his death, John Lennon said he was really hurt by you, that you'd never mentioned in your autobiography any of the influence that he had on you.
He was annoyed because I didn't say that he had written one line of the song Taxman. But
did you tell him that?
Well, I didn't, because he was already dead after that. But the point to that was that I also didn't say how I wrote 2 lines to Come Together or 3 lines to Eleanor Rigby. You know, I wasn't getting into any of that. I think in the balance, I would have had more things to be niggled with him about than he would have with me.
But he said that you idolized him as a young boy, that you thought...
Well, that's what he thought.
And you didn't?
Well, I liked him very much. He was a groove. He was a good lad. But at the same time, he misread me. He didn't realize who I was. And this was one of the main faults of John and Paul. They were so busy being John and Paul, they failed to realize who else was around at the time.
Well, I don't think you should.
Okay, well, I don't mind. I'll play, you know, whatever you want me to play. Or I won't play at all if you don't want me to play. No, whatever it is that will please you, I'll do it.
I wondered what you felt, losing someone close to you for all those years.
It's like losing your parents or anybody you know and love. You know, all things must pass. But when it's taken in a violent way like that by somebody else, you know, it makes it very strange. He was very good. He was very good, and he was, in some ways, he was a slight genius. I mean, but apart from that, he was still just some guy like the rest of everybody else.
He was no angel?
He wasn't, but he was as well.
Was he?
Yeah. One of your best friends got assassinated, so surely you must be nervous about being assassinated too. You know, I like to take care, but I don't walk around fearing for my life, and I don't think, you know, anybody could be bothered killing me. You know, what's the point of killing me? There's nothing, you know. I don't feel that important.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
So it's strange, but it's just another one of the strange things that's happened in this life. You know, our manager died, our road manager was shot by the LA police. So many of our friends died through the years, and you know, everybody went on drugs, everybody went to the Himalayas, everybody got divorced. You know, it's just a very concentrated kind of life.
It's all right.
The whole thing has been like this, really, in one way or another.
It's all right.
Just sort of get used to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.